Ready?
I'm ready, man. Let's go. Let's do this.
All right, cool. What's up, y'all? It's J Dash. We back here with episode. It's my pops. It's me and my dad here in North Carolina, Winston-Salem, Southside. So taking a second to chop it up with my pops. Big Mike from the Wood. And he said, man, I don't know why you call me that. The real reason I call you that, okay? You know the movie, The Wood.
Yeah.
The dude's name was Mike. Mm-hmm. He was from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. He likes sports.
Okay. Yeah.
And so, yeah, I really don't. I mean, I be calling you Big Mike when I talk about you, but The Wood, that's just some extra stuff, man. It's just the correlation. You introduced me to that movie, so you know.
That's kind of funny because me and that guy had a lot of common.
Yeah. You ain't never moved to Inglewood though.
I ain't never moved to Inglewood, but we had a lot of the same characteristics.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
I guess like even when it came to talking to girls.
Yeah.
You know, he was kind of shy about it. You had to talk him into doing it.
Yeah.
That was kind of me too. People had to talk me into doing something. Yeah, I didn't have that sense of going up to just talking to a girl like some people do.
Yeah.
What some young guys do back then. That wasn't me. You know, it took a lot. You know, so I had to either pump myself up or somebody else
had one of your boys bump you up. Yeah.
And then, you know, I had a friend like Mike Autry.
Yeah.
who was totally opposite of me.
So he was more like not Slim. What's the other dude name?
I can't remember his name.
Oh man, it was Mike Slim and the one that was getting married. That was Tay Diggs' character.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't remember his name. That's gonna throw me off. Rome? Was it Rome? Nah. What was his name?
I can't remember his name.
Okay, but yeah, Roll. They just called him Rolling because his name was Rolling. Yeah,
okay.
Roll. So yeah, okay. So Mike was more like Roll.
Yeah, Mike was like totally opposite of me, man.
Y'all was best friends.
We were best friends. And we became best friends in the 7th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah, we the way he tells it is because we had football back then.
Mm-hmm. Y'all had football in school.
In school back then.
Yeah.
Because it was 7th, 8th grade, and then there was 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Yeah, because when I was coming up, when you was in middle school, you still played Pop Warner.
Right.
You know, like you played Pop Warner all the way until high school. There wasn't school football.
Right.
Got you. Okay, go ahead.
And the way he tells it was I was playing defense and he was on offense. And we was running a little. And we were running a play one time, and it was a free play. The coach had blown the whistle, but Mike kept running the play. He was a wide receiver, and I was playing defensive back. And he ran, and he caught the ball, and he kept running, but he didn't see me. And I figured I'd get a free hit on this guy. And I went down low, and Mike said he flew. Next thing you know, he was in the air. He was flying. And he said I hit him so hard, he wanted to become my best friend. After that, we became best friends, and we're still friends today. Even though he lives in D.C. now, he lives in Maryland. We still best friends.
Oh, bro, that's funny, man. That's funny. Yeah, man. I don't know when the last time I seen him, man. It's been some years since When the last time you seen him?
It's been a couple years since I've been up to D.C., but I mean, we call each other. I mean, once or twice a year, and we just catch right back up. You know, several times a year, we just catch back up. You know, whenever. Sometimes he'll call me, and sometimes he'll call me when he had a few too many to drink, and I just listen to him. You know, he ramble on, and I listen as a friend. I just listen to him. You know, so he get tired of talking because he could talk. And I go, all right, Mike, man, you good? You know, I just talk to him, but we still talk, man. We still friends and all whatnot. You know,
man, I got friends like that too, man. Darius. I mean, we actually talked earlier today. He probably seen I was in town, but he called me and I missed a call because I was in the shower, and then I called him back. Man, we talked for probably like 20, 30 minutes, and it's not one of them things where me and him talk every day or even every month. Like it might be once every 2 or 3 months that we chop it up, get on the phone. Like you said, we right back where we left off. Yeah. 3 months ago, you know, it's a little catch up, but it ain't nothing changed. It ain't nothing changed since high school, man. That's been I still remember like meeting him, you know, in the hallway of the arts building. Like, you know, bro, just got to our school and You know, I kind of knew who he was just because he played football, but I didn't realize he knew. Like, all right, you just told the story. I'll tell it. We in the arts building at Reynolds, and I seen bruh sitting outside of one of the classrooms because I guess the girl he was dating, she did the dance team or whatever, or maybe cheer. I don't know, but she did something where she was over there, and he was like, "Hey man, you dude to play drums, right?" I was like, "Yeah, bro." Like, say, "Yeah, bro, you play football, right?" Yeah. And I mean, after that, it was like, all right, that's like our first official like time, like meeting each other, and then, man, you look up 10 plus years later, that's still my dog, like to this day, you know. So I mean, yeah, I talked to him earlier today. You know, he did tell me to tell y'all what's up. So okay. He'll be back through for chicken and waffles this year, you know.
Okay.
Per usual.
Cool.
But yeah, man, introduce yourself to the people, man. You know, I got a good amount of people who keep up with the page. So, man, how would you introduce yourself? Who is Big Mike?
I'm just Michael, your daddy, your father.
We ain't supposed to use last names, but it's cool.
Oh, okay, my bad. But yeah, I grew up living in Winston-Salem. I am a veteran, and I'm also an ordained elder.
Yeah,
in the Church of God in Christ. So you know, that's who I am.
Bet. Now you said you were a vet.
Yeah.
Talk about your time in the military. How was that? And what made you decide to join the military?
Well, you know, right after high school, I went to college. My mom got me started in a aviation program.
Yeah.
At GTCC, and for the next 3 years, I worked loading trucks for Sarah Lee in Rural Hall, and drove back and forth to Greensboro, where GTC was, to go to school for 3 years. And when I finished the school, I got my AMP, airframe and power plant license, and an associate's degree in applied science. But after that, I started applying for jobs, and I think that was during the time of Desert Storm, Desert Shield.
Yeah, like 92-ish?
Yeah, 92-ish, 90. I graduated in 92. I graduated from college.
In 92. Okay, I was like, you
graduated from college in 92. And and nobody was hiring. And so I just gave myself, you know, a couple months of looking for a job, and then I just decided, you know, I go try the military, because I think the thing that was holding me back from getting a job back then was I didn't have a lack of experience.
Yeah.
Even though I went to school, got my AMP, which is airframe and power plant license, and I didn't have the experience, and they wasn't, you know, hurting for aviation employment like they are today. Today, there's a shortage of aviation personnel, and so I decided to go into a military. I went to the Navy first.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I actually went to a Navy recruiter first, and the guy was talking about being on the ship and, you know, hanging out on the intake of airplanes and all that stuff, and he was talking about a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, I don't think that's for me. You know, being out on the ship, number one, hanging out in the intake of an aircraft, doesn't seem safe. You trying to dress it up like it's fun.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think that's fun for me. So I went over to the Air Force. I kind of brushed the Navy guy off and went over to the Air Force. And they was being straight up with me. And for one of the first things they wanted to do was test me to see where I tested high at, to see what program I'd be in. And I tested high in avionics. And so that kind of shocked me, because I had an idea of electricity and how it works, and avionics and how it works, but I didn't know if I would score high in that. But yeah, I ended up scoring high in that. Then they asked me, did I want to be on the B-2 stealth bomber program? I was like, sure, why not? I had never heard of it.
I was going to ask, like, did you know what that was? Because I know
I did not
at
know
that
what
time
that was.
they was like relatively new.
It wasn't. It was very new.
Very new, like
very new.
First line of stuff coming out.
Yeah, very new. And and I said yeah, and so I signed up for the Air Force for 4 years, and so that's how I got into the military.
All right, so you go to Denver, somewhere in Colorado, right, for your basic?
No, basic training was in Texas.
Oh.
San Antonio, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah. for about 6 to 8 weeks. I think it was. I think it might have been 8 weeks. I was down there. 8 weeks. I was in San Antonio, Texas.
So where did Colorado come in at?
Colorado was my tech schooling.
Oh, okay.
Which was kind of interesting because after basic training, they sent you to tech school to get trained on the airplane you're supposed to be working on.
Mm-hmm. Well, wait, let's. I'm gonna pause you right there. Okay. How was basic for you?
Basic was. I didn't quite think it was challenging. It was different. It was interesting, but you have to take into consideration I gone through college, so I'm older now.
Mm-hmm. So how old are you? Like 20?
I'm not 18. I'm 21, 22.
Yeah,
22 years old, I think. And so I'm probably one of the oldest people on it. So
dang, that's crazy.
Yeah. So once we get off the plane, they put us on a bus, right? And so I'm sitting there, I'm just riding quiet, listening to all these young folks talk about, this and that and that and this, and I'm just listening. And they get us off the plane and get us under this tarmac. I think it was nighttime. We still in our civilian clothes, and these guys come out and start yelling at us, tell us stand up. But before I went, I did have a little I don't know what you call it. Some people here gave me an idea of what was going to go on there.
Yeah.
Like how to stand, left turns, and the commands that they give. In my mind, I already said, it's basically they're trying to weed out the weaklings. Just do what they say do, and you'll be fine. And, don't respond when they get in your face and do all this. But, they can't touch you.
Yeah.
And so, I thought for the most part, that first night was funny. And I had to stand there in formation and not laugh as the TI went through as this started. He went in on people. The way he went in on people, man, it was so funny to me. But I couldn't bust out laughing because they would have came and jumped on me.
Yeah.
And I'm standing there, I'm like, breathe, take a deep breath. And I'm like, ooh, this is funny. Because them young guys, boy, they didn't know what they was finna get into. But I thought for the most part it was funny. I guess the most challenging thing was the exercising part of it. Yeah. And mainly the running, because I was not necessarily a runner.
Yeah.
That was probably the most challenging part of it to me, was running. Following orders and doing all that, I had no problem with. And then I got selected to be the guide on.
What's that?
That is the person that be at the front holding the flag, leading the whole squadron down the road, marching in steps.
Got you.
So they following me and the flag wherever we going. And I thought that was, in some cases, fun, and in some cases funny, and in some cases a little challenging, because you got this whole formation, and you got the TI standing right there giving orders. Yeah, march, and you marching down, and you in step. You got to get that flag up real quick. And he says go, and then you got to drop it down. It's a thing, I'm like, man, I finally mastered, But then, I'm having to lead. I can't see behind me.
Yeah.
And so this guy behind me has to tell me if I'm veering off to the left or to the right. And so he's whispering, hey, move to the left, move to the left, move to the right, keep it straight, you good. And so it was a little challenging. It was, but we all worked together and we got through it, man. Yeah, that was a tough part of that. And then the other part was, it was during the summertime.
Nah, it was hot, blazing hot in Texas.
San Antonio, Texas?
Yeah,
blazing. That's past hot, dude.
Yeah.
It was past hot. And they had us out there mowing grass. And we had to wear these steel-toe clinking things on our feet over our boots. So, and man, we had our BDUs on. It was hot. People were passing out, falling. They were hot. I mean, it was past hot, man. It was hot. But you get through it, man. I got through it. It was all good. It was all good.
Okay, so you go to Colorado for, you said,
my tech
schooling.
I went to Colorado for my tech school on the airplane that I'm supposed to be working on. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. The B-2 was so new, they didn't have any classes for it. So the tech school that I went to was actually a tech school for the B-1 aircraft.
Was the B-1 a stealth, or was...
No, the B-1 was the airplane where it was a bomber, but it could fly supersonic speed, but the wings went backwards. You know how the wings would go back
Yeah.
Like when it goes into
kind of like the not like the Concordia or the Concordia wings didn't go back.
No,
that nose tilted.
The nose tilted. But kind of like if you remember the original Top Gun movie.
Yeah.
Those type of airplanes that they flew, that Tom Cruise flew in that movie, and when they went into supersonic speed, the wings went backwards.
Yeah.
This was a bomber, and the same concept was the wings would go back.
Got you.
When they flew into supersonic speed, but that was the bomber that I was taught on in tech school. Remember, I'm going to work on the B-2.
Yeah.
This plane ain't nothing like the B-2. The B-2 was a fly-by-wire, glass cockpit, push buttons, all this. But they're training me on the B-1. I didn't understand it, but hey, that's what my schooling was.
So when you got to when you got stationed and you finally got your hands on the B-2, what was that like? Since you had been trained on a totally different aircraft, and now it's like, hey, it's time to work on this B-2 stealth bomber. It was
basically on the job training at this point, and it was like that not just for me but everybody there.
Yeah,
because the plane was so secretive. There was no class for it. You didn't have any books you could take home and study for it. They told us that not to talk about the airplane off base and whatnot, and you got to understand, you had to pass a secret clearance to even work on this plane. So I had my secret clearance.
You sworn to secrecy.
Yeah.
What Shaq be saying? G14 classified. my boy was G14 classified right here.
Yeah, it was secret. I wasn't top secret. It was secret.
Yeah.
So, it was so secret that, I tried to go to school while we were learning, but my sergeant told me that I had to spend a year focusing on the airplane before I could go back to school, because I wanted to go back to school and get my bachelor's degree.
Right, at Central Missouri?
At Central Missouri State University, yeah. So I had to wait a year, which wasn't, I understood. And after that year was up, man, I jumped right back on the horse and went back to school.
Yeah. For
my remainder of the time that I was there. By the time I got out, I only had one class I had to take before I got my bachelor's degree.
Cool.
So it wasn't bad. It all worked out. So it was all good. But yeah, but it was on the job training. You basically, when you went to work, you learned the airplane.
Got you. And that was the way, because it was a brand new plane.
A brand new plane. We only had one. By the time I got there, we had on the first one airplane. Yeah. The first one that came to Whiteman Air Force Base, Missouri, I got to work on it.
That's legendary.
Only had one.
That's legendary.
Yeah.
How many? They got more than. They got way more.
I think
than
they had
now.
about 20 now. Yeah.
Are they all stationed at the same place?
All stationed in Missouri.
Okay.
In the middle of the country, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I drove by there a couple years ago, just because I was driving from Columbia, Missouri to Lawrence, Kansas. I was basically going from University of Missouri to University of Kansas, and I had seen the signs where it said like Whiteman Air Force Base, and I was like, man, I know the address and everything, and like where our old apartment was, and I was like, man, that'd be cool if I just went by there just to see it. And I was like, nah, I'm cool. I'ma just keep going. I was tired, but yeah.
Those were good times. I enjoyed my time in the military, and being a part of the 393rd Bomb Squadron was what I was a part of, and I guess our motto was lock, cock, ready to rock.
Yeah.
I enjoyed some of the, when we was in tech school or when we was in basic training, we would be marching and singing.
Yeah.
I loved it, man. I loved that part of it. When we march, we all be in step, and you hear them boots, do, 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 do. And they start singing, boy, we be jamming. It's what you make it out to be.
Yeah.
It's what you make it out to be. You could have made it hard for yourself, and you could have made it enjoyable, but I chose to make it enjoyable.
Yeah. That's a good way to look at it. I definitely catch myself every now and then. I'll watch some videos of people like marching, and I guess I just assume it's basic training, but they had the song going while they marching. I'm like, man, this is actually kind of dope. Like, do I want to be in the military? Absolutely not. But but I mean, hey, the singing part, the musical part of it was cool to me. So let's talk about something, man. A lot of people ask like how I got into basketball and like where my love for basketball came from. And you are the genesis of basketball for me.
Mm.
Granted, I'm like 3-4 years old. I mean, I thought you was in the NBA because you played in this, like, knowing what I know now, you was playing in this like league.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just remember like sitting in the stands watching you play basketball, and I'm like, well, the only other person I know that plays basketball is Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? So in my mind, I'm like, yeah, my daddy is the man. Like, I watch him play, you know. So that was my introduction to basketball, was you hooping, man, just playing in like men's leagues. Like, I'm going to the locker room with you. Like, I remember stuff like that. Like, I remember being a little kid. Like, I don't know if it was pickup or whatever, but like, I remember going to the gym with you as a kid, you know, and watching you hoop. Like, couldn't nobody tell me any different.
Yeah, well, I think the first time you were with me when I played for a league was actually in the military.
Yeah, we was living in Missouri.
Living in Missouri, we was living on base, and I decided to play in the intramural basketball league that we had at our base. And so I was part of a team, and I was not a great basketball player.
Couldn't have told me any different.
Man, but, you know, from a kid's eye, you thought I was out. When I got the ball and I was dribbling and I shot it, whether I hit or miss, it didn't matter to you.
Yeah.
You saw me as this great basketball player. I could have been your LeBron James at that point, you know?
Facts.
You know, and I was just out there having fun.
Yeah.
I was just enjoying my time playing basketball in the military and whatnot. And then when we got out of the military, I don't know if you remember, we came back here. And then we had a church league.
Probably. I mean, I vaguely remember.
Yeah,
like,
and we had Brother Tate and all them were on the team.
Oh, no, that was when I was older.
You was a little older?
Yeah, I remember that. I was older.
Yeah,
I was in
I
like
thought you
middle
remember
school.
that. That's
yeah,
the other team that I was on. And, you know, in between that, you know, if we had to go to the Y or something like that, we play basketball. Or,
out here in the driveway, yeah.
And whatnot like that. But then you played basketball as a little kid, too.
Yeah.
You was you played basketball, football, and baseball.
Everything. Only thing I ain't do
and I was there with you.
Track.
Yeah, and I was there with you, you know, helping coaching and all that stuff. And so,
man,
you know, it wasn't just me; it was you too. But playing
I mean, I just remember like that's my first memory of basketball is watching you play in a league, like in a gym, sitting in the bleachers, watching you. Like, I remember somebody getting hurt one time. I think y'all was playing pickup. But I remember somebody had gotten hurt and they started yelling, and it scared me. And so I was crying, and somebody gave me some candy so I would stop crying. And I don't know, do you remember that?
I think that might have been while I was in the military. Somebody might have sprained their ankle real bad or something like that.
I don't know, man. I just
something
remember.
happened. I don't know if they ankle or their knee, but something happened. Somebody got hurt on military.
Lower extremities. Yeah. And they were yelling like in excruciating pain. It scared me, and I was crying. And I don't really know how I remember that at that age, but that's like one of my earliest memories. And man, basketball. So it's really that and music. I mean, and really a lot of my creative and like artistic side of me, I think, really stems from you. So like even my love for films, like I said, like you would introduce me to a number of movies that I would just watch and sometimes still watch, like Lion King, right? Like I remember what was it, the Mighty Joe Young trailer before that. You know what I'm saying? Like The Wood, which we referred to earlier, and just classic black comedies. You know, and me now, I will watch movies all day. Yeah, like
I don't know if you remember, but Mighty Joe Young actually scared you when we took you to the movies.
Yeah, and I did.
It scared you, and because when you were a child, loud noises bothered you.
Yeah, they still kind of do.
And loud noises bothered you. Even I remember the time we took you to a football game, and they was shooting off that cannon every time they would score.
Where was that at?
That was in Missouri.
Really?
Yeah, we went to a Central Missouri State football game, and every time they would score a touchdown, somebody scored a touchdown, they shoot that loud cannon. And the first thing you would do is put your hand over your ears and say, I got to go to the bathroom. And that's where you wanted to stay, in the bathroom. And That was funny, yeah. And in the theater, when Mighty Joe Young, that big monkey, came down and jumped on the screen, you put your hands on your ears and you was ready to go. You didn't want to see no movie. You was ready to get up out of there.
Something else that reminded me of myself when I was younger. I'm not a fan of needles. Never have been. Never will be. But I had to go get I did my doctor, like my checkup and blood work and all that. And when I walk into the place, man, I hear this little kid in the back. Well, he is back there screaming his head off. No. I mean, for a cool 3 straight minutes, he just letting them have it. And I looked at the dude to my right, older guy. And he was just like, man, he putting up a fight. I said, yeah, I used to be the exact same way. I said, man, I probably would have been ran up out of here in the parking lot across the street by then, man. Was not trying to get stuck by that needle. But, man, that reminded me of myself seeing that. Just like, bro, it's not that bad. Just as long as I don't see it, I'm good. I like, hey, just do what you need to do. And, man, hurry it on up. The lady, we got through it mad quick. But, yeah. Man, that's funny though. Mighty Joe Young, goodness gracious, I couldn't even tell you what happened in that movie.
I couldn't remember the whole movie myself.
Yeah, couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I just remember the big monkey. I think Sigourney Weaver was in that movie.
Is that the lady from Alien?
Yeah. I think she might have been the
I went back and watched all of those recently. The last one was kind of like the Alien 3, where they she died, but they made her over again.
Cloned her.
Yeah, that was kind of weak. But it's whatever. The first 2 was solid.
Yeah.
First 2 was solid.
I always thought exposure for my children was a good thing, not necessarily a bad thing. As long as y'all expose y'all to good thing, y'all watch Star Wars.
Yeah.
Y'all watch Transformers and all these things that they made movies for y'all. These movies wasn't out when I was young. I had to watch the cartoon of these. And I played with the toys of these. Yeah. And when y'all came out, when y'all were born, y'all were going. Now they got movies and they got this CGI and all this stuff. And I'm like, wow, this is so cool. Yeah. But I mean, Star Wars came out they only had the first 3 when I was young. Fell in love with it. Had the Star Wars toys and everything. Grew up on that stuff. But then, they came out with some more Star Wars.
Episode 1. I think I was in first or second grade.
Yeah. And then got y'all hooked on that. Yeah. Because if you saw episode 1, you had to go back and watch
the first couple.
The other ones, and then how episode 1 came about, And so, yeah, it was all, I thought exposure was good for children, especially exposing y'all to things that were not harmful to you. Mm-hmm. And keep you away from those things that were harmful. And so I thought that would be positive for the kids to, as y'all were children, it'd be a good thing for y'all in life. I think a lot of kids need to be exposed to a lot more good things. If you only live on one side of town, you never go to the other side of town and see everything. How do you know what's out there? Yeah. All you see is where you're at. So if you live in East Winston and you never leave East Winston, how do you have any inspiration to get out of East Winston? So you need to be exposed to something outside of where you are and what you're in. So you can see, when I was growing up, I was exposed to some stuff, and I knew early on that I wanted to have my own stuff. I wanted to have my own car. I wanted to have my own house. I wanted this and I wanted that because I was exposed to things, and exposed to people, black people having nice things, And so I wanted to have some things and to have some nice things. Yeah. So exposure is always a good thing. All
right, well, let's talk about it, man. You from where are you from? In Winston.
Well, like I said, I was from Winston, but I was born in the projects.
Which projects?
Boston Projects.
BDP.
And Kimberly.
BDP, yeah.
Yeah, Boston Projects, That's what me and my older brother, as far back as I can remember, we were born in Boston Projects. That's where we lived.
Man, what's crazy? Hold on. Man, it's 5 years ago when I drove out here. The first time I drove out here, I stopped somewhere in Tennessee to get gas, and I got some food or whatever. And mind you, this is the early part of the pandemic. It's May, right? I just got my car, driving out, and this dude at the gas station, he was like, hey man, you you want to use some of these like the what's the hand wipe things to like wipe down the gas thing, like the gas pump, right? Because it's COVID. We don't at this point we don't know what's happening for real. It's just like, hey, bro, if you touch something that got COVID, you might die, right? So dude was like, man, you want some of these? And I was like, yeah, man, you know, I'll take some. And you know, he see my license, but he said, man, Oklahoma. He said, man, you a long way away. I said, yeah. He said, where you headed? I was like, man, North Carolina. Oh, really? What part? I said, Winston-Salem. He said, man, really? He said, I'm from PCP. And I was like, dang, like he really from Winston for like him to just throw that out there. I said, yeah, that's crazy. My pop's from BDP. Like, you know, so hey, that's you know, if you from Winston, you understand what language we talking. You understand the acronyms of what we just said. But yeah, all right. So BDP, Kimberly Park, same. Is that the same thing, or is it essentially? I know now it's called something else. I want to say like, I actually don't know what it's called. It's called something else though. They changed the name a long time ago when they knocked it down and rebuilt it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I ain't been over that side of town in a while.
Might be like Ashford Park or something. Like
I can't remember what they call it now.
Yeah,
I can't remember what they call it now. But back then you had Boston Project and Kimberly. It was right there in the same vicinity.
Yeah.
You know, it's like this here and this here, but they were right there.
Got you.
So, you know, pretty much.
Okay. Now when did you move to 25th, which is also right there? Like
25th Street?
Yeah.
Oh, before we got to 25th Street.
Oh, you was in North Hills before?
I was in North Hills before
then.
then.
Okay. So
yeah, my mom moved us out to North Hills.
You over there on the north side, and then when do you move back to 25th Street?
I don't think we moved to 25th Street until after I graduated from high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I think it was after I graduated from high school.
Okay.
That we moved to 25th Street. It was either.
So how you get to Tabor from North Hills?
They bust us out there.
You wouldn't be.
I called the bus.
But I'm saying you wouldn't be at North Forsyth at that point, or
back then the way they had the districts drawn. No, back then the way they had the districts drawn, we were in Mount Tabor district.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that you was in high school in North Hills.
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I was in high school in North Hills. Yeah.
What middle school did you go to?
I went to Northwest Middle School. Well, it was several middle schools. I went to, before I got to high school, I went to Paisley for 1 year.
Okay.
That was in the 8th grade. And then I went to Northwest Middle School in the 7th grade.
Northwest, was that right across the street from where I used to get my haircut at?
I don't know. Northwest is like out on Shadowlawn.
Dang, nah. What? All right, it was a whole different.
That's not where you used to get your haircut at. No.
Nah.
Yeah, Northwest was out there off Shadowlawn way, and before then, my grade school was Old Town Elementary.
I've heard of that, but I don't know where that's at.
All the way down the other end of Reynolds Road, Reynolda Road. Yeah, you and Shadowlawn, Reynolda Road and Shadowlawn. You wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, that was on the other. And it is. Yeah, they shipped it all the way out there from North Hills.
Dang.
Yeah. That was crazy.
That's crazy. Nah. Okay, so you get to high school. Now we get into the part where what's your story on how you met mom? What's your side of the story?
Okay. We actually met in chorus.
Okay.
Okay. And we were, I don't know, if I remember correctly, I think we had chorus the year before I graduated, but also took it again my last year in school.
Okay, so your junior and senior year, y'all was in chorus.
Yeah, because I was in chorus before she was in chorus.
Got you.
Because I know I was in chorus at least a year before she was in chorus, and when she came into chorus, there was me and some other guys, and some other girls too.
Yeah.
And the way we actually met was like this. We had a sing and dance coming up, right? and we had to pair up, male and female.
Yeah.
And I guess the choices of males to choose from when it came to females was limited.
Right.
You know,
because it was more of them than it was y'all.
Yeah.
For sure.
No. It was more. No. Yeah. I think that's right. It was. Well,
more girls than guys in the class.
There was probably. I'm trying to think how many black girls there was to black guys.
Yeah.
You know, and I think might have been 2 black girls in there at the time, 2 or 3. But then the choices of guys was more. Because there was like 4 of us. I think it was four of us, if I'm not mistaken. And so when they went to choose, she actually ran towards me and grabbed me because I guess she didn't want the other ones. Not that I was better, she just didn't want the sing and dance with the other 3. But then someone else grabbed me also, another girl grabbed me. And then she wouldn't let go. And so she held on.
Mom did?
Yeah, she held on. And so we ended up partnering up,
right,
you know, for this sing and dance thing that we were supposed to be practicing and singing and doing for the whole school in the auditorium. And so, and it was kind of like I think one of them was a Grease thing and one of them was something else where we did an Easter thing.
Mm-hmm.
We did this Easter bonnet thing, and we sang and we did this Easter bonnet stuff, and we had to sing and get close together and dip and do all this. It was like a sing and dance,
right,
in front of a crowd. And I still remember the song. Oh, you want me to sing it for you?
Hey man, it's your world, bro. if this makes the story that much better, go ahead. Just give me a little bit. Like
I give you a little bit of the word because I can still remember this song.
Yeah.
It says,
this is a pivotal moment in your life, so of course you remember it. This is how you met your woman, bro.
Yeah,
go ahead.
This is how I met my woman. It says, in your Easter bonnet, with all your frails upon it.
What is this from?
You'll be the grandest lady in the Easter parade. Say, on the avenue. Go, sweet. It went that way, man. So and so, you know, we got to doing this, and I just grew to like her, you know. I just kind of liked her, you know, and but I was the type person that I never dated anybody that went to the same high school as me.
Yeah,
simply because I didn't want everybody in my business.
That's where I get that from, then, because I'm not, and it's not even. Like, even as an adult now, like, I'm not big on anything I do personally being on social media. I know that's a big thing where, like, people will put their significant others on socials, and I'm just like, nah, I'm cool. Like, I'd rather have people out of my business. It's not that I'm, like, ashamed or want to be so secret. It's just, bro, I don't want people... Because once people start knowing stuff, then they start trying to infiltrate your business, and I'm cool on that. So I feel you on that. But my fault. Go ahead.
And so we just that's when I started to like her. Excuse me. And then you know, but I was in a Spanish class with her best friend, Faith, and Faith was always hard on me because I was always trying to cheat off her paper. Because I didn't like Spanish. Yeah. I couldn't get Spanish. I had to cheat my way to get a D through that class.
We are the same, because I had to do the same thing in college.
I had to cheat my way through Spanish, and she would never let me cheat. I was always giving her a hard time. But Faith and I are good friends now.
Yeah.
You know, and I think towards the end of the year that I was graduating, you know, back then you didn't have cell phones, you didn't have none of that. So I had to go old school. And I think I wrote your mom a letter. Mm-hmm. I don't know if she still has it. I wrote her a letter and asked Faith to give it to her.
I've heard this story. Yeah. She gave it to her on the bus.
I think she might have gave it to her on the bus or something.
Yeah.
You know, and then, you know, and I wanted her phone number and stuff like that. And I don't think I asked for her phone number. I think I looked their phone number up in the book.
Bro, that's crazy. In the phone book?
In the phone book, yeah. Here's the funny thing, though. You know, in my house, we had one phone number for the whole house.
Yeah.
In her house, they had 2 phone numbers.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, they had 2 phone numbers because her dad was a preacher. He had his own phone number upstairs, but then the kids had their phone number.
I didn't know that.
Guess whose phone number I ended up calling? Guess who picked up the phone when I called?
I know who picked up the phone. How did that go?
Her dad called. And he was like, they got their own number. You call it. I mean, I don't remember his exact word, but I wasn't supposed to be calling his number, asking for action to speak to his daughter on his phone. That's how that went. Yeah. So
whoa, that's crazy. Go ahead, man.
You know, long story short, you know, she did end up, you know, going on a date with me, you know. But let me back up because I tried to talk to her in school one time walking down the hall, and I tried to use this old trick, you know, let me carry your books.
Yeah.
She said no. She wouldn't even let me carry her books.
You know what they call that?
What's that?
That's called getting curved.
I guess I got curved.
You got curved. It's okay.
I got curved. But you know what? I didn't give up.
That's the thing.
And this is the thing that made me know that this was the woman for me. I had to work hard to get her. It wasn't easy.
Yeah.
You know, and because she didn't want me. Her idea of the perfect guy was light-skinned guy with good hair, green eyes.
And she'll yeah, I done heard her say that before.
And I had none of those attributes.
Yeah.
None of them. I wasn't a quarterback on the football team. I didn't have good curly hair, even though we had Jerry curls back then. S curl. I didn't have none of that. You know, dark skin, brown, you know, black hair, brown eyes. Now I was not what she was looking for in a man. So I had to work for it. So,
on the physical part.
Yeah, right.
Right.
On the physical part. You know, so, you know, had to work for it. And then, you know, eventually, you know, moving fast forward, we did go out on our first date. And we went to putt-putt. And I like to laugh. And so I kind of just made her laugh. We just had a good time. I just wanted to make her feel comfortable, you know, and not put any pressure on her for anything. Even to the point where when I took her home, well, we went to putt-putt and then we went to Wendy's to eat. And so when I took her home, you know, I just said, you know, enjoy the day, goodbye, da-da-da-da. We just talked and no goodnight kiss or nothing. Wasn't going to pressure her or nothing. Yeah. You know, it wasn't until the second date that I made the move to give a goodnight kiss.
Oh, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So, where'd y'all go the second date?
I think we went to the skating ring.
Which one?
I remember. The same one that's out there.
Skate Haven?
Skate Haven.
On the west side?
Yeah, on the west side. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's down the street from Tabor. That
right
makes sense. Yeah.
Tabor. I think that was where we went.
Was they living Foxfield?
They were still on Foxfield Court.
Okay.
Living on Foxfield Court back then.
Yeah. So none of that was really far.
Not from her house, no.
Got you.
Well,
except maybe like the putt. That's kind of a good little ways.
Yeah, a little ways, a little further from her house, but yeah. So it wasn't until then that, you know, once we got to the second date, you know, we were together. You know,
it was up.
Yeah,
and I ain't been.
And I think that I still have the date. I still have the calendar page where I circled the date of where I asked her to be my girlfriend, and I think it was in August of 1989. I would have to go in the garage and pull it out, but I think I still have that calendar.
Or was it 90?
No, it was 89. It was the summer of 89. It was after I graduated.
Oh, okay.
The summer of 89.
She was making it seem like it was well into her senior year. So this was the summer after you graduated.
It was the summer after I graduated.
That makes sense. Oh, well, yeah, because y'all went to her senior prom together.
Yeah.
But her junior prom, she went with that light-skinned dude with the green eyes. I done seen that picture.
Yeah, did she?
I've seen
guess. I don't know.
Some hot yellow dude.
I don't know.
It'll check out.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll fact check that.
Yeah, I don't know who that guy is.
It don't matter. He ain't.
But he lost out.
30-something years later, where's he at? Nowhere to be found. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He's out of the picture.
Out of the picture. We ain't worried about it. Yeah. No, man. So what? You know, I asked mom about what is it like being married. So I asked the same question to you. Like, what is that like for 32 years? Like to be married and committed to the same person for that long, and like y'all have been able to do life together, really, from basically kids at 21 and 22 to now y'all are both in y'all early 50s. Like,
it's a life story, you know, of ups and downs, of challenges, of traveling, of doing things together and overcoming. It's all those things, and but both having the mindset to make it through.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think that's one of the things that's kept us together. That we've grown together, we understand together, we think together, and as she would sometimes say, I still make her laugh sometimes, like I did on that golf course.
Mm-hmm.
I made her laugh. Nowadays, I can say something that I may not think is funny, and she'll be on the floor rolling and snorting and can't catch her breath. I'm like, was it that funny? Yeah, and then sometimes I'll say something, and then she'll start laughing, and then I'll just start laughing. I'll be in tears. We both be in tears just laughing. And I think, you know, it's all fun. But, you know, one of the things that drew me to her was I always thought she was smart and intelligent. And when I saw her, I say, she has the potential to be something great one day, right? And, you know, you always want to, in my mind, I always thought, you know, she makes me look good. You know, I wouldn't want to be with somebody that makes me look bad.
Mm-hmm.
But so she makes me look good, and I wanted to be with somebody that makes me look good. They look good, and they make me look good. And so you look at us today, man. She's living her dream with her job, her dream job. You know, and you know, I don't feel. I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. You know. Because she makes more money than me.
Mm-hmm.
A lot more money than me.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel like, I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for.
Like resentful?
Yeah, I don't feel resentful. I don't feel like that I should go out and work 3 more, 4 more jobs just so I can make more money to her and make equal money to her. I don't have to do that because I've always supported her down through the years. And what we do and what she achieves, I achieve. And what I achieve, she achieves. And we achieve it together.
Mm-hmm.
So even though she's making a lot more money than I'm making, you know, I remember all the years that I was making more money than she was making. You know, and all the stuff that she went through, and I supported her. Even when she called me one day and said she's getting ready to quit her job, I said, okay. Because the man was causing her mental stress. I did not hesitate to say, come off that job. You know, I said, we'll figure it out. Because we had always figured it out. And so
together.
And so she came off that job and then started working her own job. You know, created her own job, and I supported her in that. And she did that for a few years before she got this other job that she constantly tells me she loves. And I support her in getting that job. And I'm like, you know, and we did it together. You know, and that's the kind of love and kind of relationship we have for one another. So, yeah.
Another part of that is fatherhood.
Mm-hmm.
What has that been like for you? Also, maybe you don't want to speak on it. Maybe you're okay with it. But being a father who didn't necessarily have one, you know.
Wasn't necessarily. I did not have a father.
Yeah.
And I'm not, no, I talk about it. You know, therapy has helped me out a lot.
Yeah.
So I talk about stuff. And, yeah, being a father, you know, let me go back. Because when I was about 16, you to 16 to 17, you know, I remember sitting on my porch, and my mom had taken us to church. You know, we was in church and all that, and you know, we believed in God, but we wasn't like I am today.
Right.
You know, but I remember sitting on my porch, and I said just a little prayer to God, because I think it might have been around either my 16th birthday, somewhere between my 16th, 17th birthday. You know, because I had never gotten a card from my dad, I had never heard from my dad, and you know, you just get to a point where you're like, you're done with it. You know, and I prayed to God. I asked God, I said, you know, Lord, let me be a father. I asked him for a beautiful wife. I asked him for a daughter. I asked him for a son. I literally asked for this.
Okay, bet.
I prayed for this. And I said, and I told him why I wanted to be a father. I said, I want to be a father. So I actually told him why I wanted the wife, the children, and all that. I said, I want to be a father to them that I did not have. That was why I wanted, you know, I said, I want to be a father to them I did not have. You know, that was around 16, 18. And then after that, you know, it was just like, I took no thought of my father, you know, because as I understand it, he left when I was 2. And my mom, as she tells me, she got so mad, she had tore up all his pictures, you know, or cut his face out of all the pictures and stuff that they had. So, and I vaguely remember there was one picture, but it was so blurred, you couldn't make out his face. Mm-hmm. And so I had no recollection of what he looked like, what he smelled like, you know, anything. And, you know, you grow up when you're a kid, as I was somewhat observant. I always see other kids, fathers and whatnot, they come out to the football game when I played football in high school. You know, after the game, you know, the kids would meet up with their parents or their dad, and you know what? My mom was working, so she wasn't able to come to the football game. So I would leave the football game by myself and go home. You know, whether I played or not, nobody noticed. But you always had this thing in the back of your mind. You always wished maybe your father was up in the stands just looking at you. Maybe he can't get in contact with you like he was some secret agent or something.
Yeah.
You know, but you come to find out, you know, that's not true. And so, you know, yeah, I don't know how people, I'll give you a good example of what it's not like to have a father in your life and what we think as children when we don't have a father in our life. You remember the episode of Will Smith?
Yeah.
When his dad came back, when he was working in that little store with Carlton, and they spent a little time together, and then his dad told him he was going to take him on the road with him. And then when it came time to take him on the road with him, his dad told him he couldn't go.
Yeah.
And at the very end, you know, he busted out, you know, to what was his dad's name?
Uncle Phil.
Uncle Phil. Yeah, he busted out. He was talking to Uncle Phil, and his dad left. And the last thing he said to Uncle Phil was, "Why don't my dad want me?" I think a lot of kids whose father are not in their lives ask that same question growing up. Why don't your father want you?
Is that a question that you asked?
That is a question that I ask. You know, and then, but you know, but that's speaking to the kid blaming themselves, and I had to stop doing that.
Yeah,
I had to stop blaming myself for my dad not wanting me. It wasn't my fault, you know. But as you get older, you know, you tend to learn to deal with that, and it's painful. But you learn to deal with that pain, and you learn to, you know, box it up and put it away and deal with it. And sometimes it comes up, and sometimes, you know, it don't. And yeah, but that's why I wanted to be a father, so I could be a father to my children that I did not have. And that's why when I do some of the things that I do for you and for your sisters, you know, that's part of me holding on to that promise that I made to God to be a father to you all that I didn't have. That's why when we played sports, I was at your football game. When you did stuff at school, I was there. You know, you was in the band and all that stuff. When we went to college and you was in the band, we made it a point that we got to go to as many as we can, you know. And so that was part of that, me keeping that promise that I made to God. Since God kept his promise, I had to keep mine, you know. And so that's why I say y'all got the favor of God, because I prayed for y'all and he blessed me with y'all. You know, oftentimes I don't talk about that.
Yeah.
Because for a long time, I never told y'all. That was just a promise between me and God. I mean, I didn't even tell your mama that for a long time in our relationship. You know, nobody knew about this promise that I had with me and God, and why I did what I did and how I did what I did. And so, yeah, that's me wanting to be a father right there.
Straight up, 100%. What so when we actually like met your dad, was that your first time like meeting him? I know you had met him like prior to us going over there, but like was that your first time like actually meeting him right before I left?
First time, yeah. That was my first time ever seeing him or meeting him. It was about 40, 45, 47. I think I was about 45 or 47 then. I was in my 40s.
I was 21, so
yeah, I was probably in my 40s.
So yeah, so that was 10 years ago then. So yeah. So what you 55? You 55? No, you're not.
No, 54. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll be 55 this coming January.
Okay, so you was 44 then.
I was 44.
Okay, dang.
But at this time in my mind, you know, I had this man cannot be my dad.
Right. Yeah, that part is gone. It's too late. You already
for him to be my dad, you know, because I'm putting it. He didn't want to be a part of my life. He made that choice, and so when I met him, you know, it wasn't like this stuff you see on TV with people following on you hugging and all that stuff. You know, I didn't even feel comfortable calling him. I didn't want to say, "Hey, father," so I had to call him by his name. I said, "Hey, Mister."
Yeah.
And you know, and we met, and then you know, it wasn't like it was kind of strange because you know you would have thought he would
be a little more, bro. I had the same.
Yeah, you thought he'd be a little bit more excited to see me.
Man, look, I'm gonna be honest. I had always wondered, like as a kid, I had always wondered about him. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't really. Papa is the only granddad that I like. Your granddad, I remember him, but like only a little bit because he passed away when I was in like 3rd or 4th grade. So I don't really have too many memories of Grandpa June. But Papa is like the one I know, and it's really the only one I know. But I always wondered about him, right? So when we did meet him, I was like, dang, like he don't even seem like he cared that we here. So all of those like that imagination of him when I was younger, I was just kind of like, yeah, I'm cool. Like I left there thinking like, yeah, I'm all right. I was glad I got to, you know, put a face to the name, you know, meet him and all that stuff. But I was just like, all right, that was.
Yeah, well,
was what it was.
For me, it was I would say enlightening, and it showed me something because you know I had met him, and then I had got his phone number. We swapped phone numbers. We had each other's phone number because I called him to see if it was okay for y'all if he wanted to meet y'all, and so. When y'all went over there and all that, and y'all met him, and I think y'all heard the story too of his life. Yeah. You know, and he had ended up in prison for killing somebody. He had done some time, but then he also had another family also. And the thing that struck me was when he was telling us about him doing time, and then he talked about his other son, I guess his oldest son with his other family that he had, that he was now in jail too.
Yeah, yep. I remember that.
That was telling to me that, you know, maybe it was God's purpose that he wasn't supposed to be in my life. Because had he continued to be in my life, I would probably ended up like him, going down the same road he went down. Ended up in jail like his son is in jail at that time. He was in jail at that time. And so, you know, it speaks to that thing where, you know, we don't always know why God does what he does, but what he does, he has purpose in what he does. And so even though it was hurtful to me not to have a father in my life, his purpose was for me not to be like the man I was like a father, but more like what he wanted me to become.
Yeah.
And so in that regard, you know, because, you know, I never done drugs. I was not an alcoholic. Wouldn't be on alcohol. You know, never went to prison. You know, got a few speeding tickets. That's the only encounter I had with the law. But for that, you know, I went through. I think I was the first one to graduate college in my family and whatnot. So he took me on a different path, which made me a better person and made me who I am today. And so it speaks to that verse where it says he'll be a father to the fatherless. You know. But it doesn't mean you go through stuff, and the things you go through are the things that make you a better person. Even to this day, you know, I still wonder, you know, my father has my phone number. My phone number has not changed.
Yeah.
Since I've had my phone.
Nah, same.
Since I had my cell phone.
That's since like 04.
Yeah. Since I've had this cell phone, it has not changed. But he has not called me.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. I can't make him call me. I can't make him want to be a part of my life. But then I'm not going to insert myself into his life. Because he has a whole different life now. Now, recently, not too long ago, I met his brother and his sister and my other grandma. We met at my mom's house because they wanted
his mom.
Meet me. His mom. Yeah.
Okay.
Because he wanted to. Because they wanted to meet me, and I was up for it. I was like, okay, I'll meet with y'all. Okay, and I met them at my mom's house. She set it up. My mom, you know, and whatnot, and. Yeah, I met them. They're pretty cool people. They're nice people and whatnot. And they took some pictures, and I see him post on. Greg is his brother.
Okay.
I just say his first name.
Yeah.
And I see him on my Facebook. You know, I don't post on Facebook. I go in there and look at sometimes, and I see him posting some stuff.
Be lurking.
Yeah, I just lurk. I don't post. I don't write. I try to not get into that social media stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's an entrapment. You start posting stuff.
Doom scrolling.
And people just, you know, everybody got an opinion on everything. And everybody got something to say without knowing the whole story. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like them little clips you see. Well, what's the whole story? It's got to get the whole story in there. So I don't do it. I don't get into that social media stuff. But yeah, I met them and met my grandmother on my father's side, met her, whatnot, and so, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, at this point,
I can't let what he do interrupt what I've already done and what I'm doing. I'm going to keep living my life. I'm going to keep being happy with my family and what I've created here.
Yeah.
So.
The one thing that struck me was, you know, I used to kind of wonder, like, who is this dude? Like, man, I could have seen him. Like, what if it's that man walking down the street right there? Like, what if that's my granddad and we don't know it? And sure enough, like, I remember when we turned onto that street, that's the same street that one of my boys live on. Mm-hmm. So I had passed that house like a number of times, like you wouldn't believe. And I think that's something else that made me like upset. So I was just like, bro, he was right here. Mm-hmm. Like, I did pass that house a lot. I probably had seen him outside cutting the grass or just like walking into the crib or something like that. Like, I was, I don't know. I felt really indifferent. Again, like I was somewhat, I was okay that I like got to meet him, but I was also just like, okay, bro, like.
Yeah. Well, one of the things he told my mom relayed to me that one of the reasons he had never reached out because he was ashamed. You know, and I understand that, but you know, you reaching out now.
Yeah.
You know, at some point, man, you gotta put that stuff aside, and you know, as you get older, you change. You lay stuff aside, and you want to be a better person. You want to change and make things right, and you know, can't hold on to the past.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so, but to this day, still no phone call.
Yeah.
You know. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I'm 54 now, dog. I can't wait. I'm on the other side. I'm on the other side, dude. I'm 54. So I'm on the other side of 50.
Yeah.
Hey.
What me as a kid, what was I like?
You was a kid, man. I thought the world of you. You came into this world, you were the most calmest kid. You was like, too cool. I mean, it was like I thought you was this amazing kid, but you was smart too. You was smart and you was amazing, and you picked up stuff real quickly because even before you talked, we taught you sign language. You picked up on it real quickly.
Where's that at? I have no idea what that. I have
sign language.
No. I know, but I'm saying I don't still have those skills. Like I know very few.
Yeah, but you
was
a kid, but before you could verbally, say anything and speak, you were doing sign language to let us know what you wanted. Like you was hungry. You wanted more. You were doing these things. We would take you out to restaurants. I remember we took you out to a restaurant in Missouri one time, and you were sitting in your high chair. We ordered food, and you were sitting there waiting, and you were just as calm as can be. And this other kid somewhere else was throwing a fit. This kid was, he was yelling and screaming, and you looked at him like he was crazy. I mean, you just you looked at him with them eyes like, why is he doing that? I'm like, and I looked at my wife, we started laughing. And I don't know if you knew better to do it, or you were just calm, because you knew if you scream like that, you go get your mama was gonna jump on you. But when you looked at him and you had your eyes was squinting, like, why is he yelling and screaming and doing all that fussing? And you just calm. You never did any things like that. Like had a tantrum in public. Yeah, it was like that just wasn't you. And you was cool. You was smart as a kid, little baby. You loved to play. You loved to have fun. And during the time that, I was, when I came back home, I tried to spend as much time with you as I could. But I understand this, with children, with kids, the three things that are most important. You slept, you ate, you love to laugh, you love to have fun, but you also need to learn something along the way. Mm-hmm. So in those first 3 years of your life, I tried to teach you as much as I could. And so I tried, and that's why when we was in car, when we would take a ride in the car, we play games, we sing songs, and we do all this stuff. And when y'all started reading and doing all that stuff and we're talking, we would do that. I'd say, how do you spell this? How do you spell that? What sound does the A make? While we was riding in the car, I was always trying to teach you, what sound does the A make? Let me hear your ABC. Da, 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 da. And this was a part of me teaching y'all how to read. Yeah. So, because I always wanted y'all to be ahead. And so I was putting as much as I can into you, but even before you went to school. That's why I taught my children how to read before they went to school. Y'all was ahead of everybody. But, y'all was smart. Y'all was some smart children. I don't know if y'all got that from me or your mama, but y'all was smart.
What about, like once I grew up in those like middle school years?
Middle school years, let's see. I mean, we always taught y'all to stand up for yourself, and we allowed y'all to a point to speak your mind, and I understood that as you get older, you change. I understood that. I don't think you got many beatings from me.
Nah, not from you. Yeah, no, that crazy lady in there was doing all the, man. She just. But I think this too, man. I think this too. And being in the basketball world, being in the coaching world, the kid business, sometimes when you hear the same, not even the same message, but the same voice, you tend to go tone deaf. Like you can tune it out. So, and she was constantly on me about any and everything, just about, right? So for me to always hear something from her was kind of just like, all right, bro, here she go again. You say something, it's like, I guess he right. Like you never really say a lot. Mm-hmm. You've never really said a lot. Mm. You do more than you say. Mm. You know what I mean? You're a man of action. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like even in I think what they call it, love language, right? Mm. Like I would think that your two the two that I see from you the most would be gift giving and acts of service. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because you just always, you do. Like, you don't waste no time talking about it. Hey, this what I'm finna do. And then you look up and it's done. Mm-hmm. Right? So you ain't really saying a whole lot. You just kind of like, hey, bro, go ahead. And it's like, oh, okay. I'm chilling on what dude talking about.
But I mean, when she get done fussing at you, she come fussing at me.
My bad.
My bad. Go make him do this. Go make him do that. And you know, that's when I had to come in and say something to you.
Yeah.
And then you be like, all right, I'll get it done.
Man, I don't know. Man, was I tripping? Sure, I was.
But you know what? That's typical of boys and becoming teenagers and whatnot. But I also understood that when you became a teenager and your mom was still doing that fussing, I had to tell her to stop fussing at you because now you taller than her and you bigger than her. And I'm like, listen, stop getting in his. I had to tell her, stop getting in his face, yelling and fussing at him. Okay, because I don't want to have to kill him if he do something to you.
Dang, that's crazy.
That's what I told her. And at that point, that's when she stopped yelling and fussing at you.
Yeah.
Because I told her, because then I had to come in and talk to you, and I say, I have a way of talking to him to make him understand and make him listen. You have to talk to him. As young people get older, they change. Then you have to change with them. Mm-hmm. You can't still treat them like they 12 when they 16. You can't talk to them the same way at 16 as you did at 12 or as you did at 5. As they get older, you have to change your tone and how you talk to them when it comes to children. And so you can't do it. You have to change with them.
That's you hit a point where I really don't, when dealing with women in my life, I don't, all that yelling, cause I'm cool. Like you can go if you feel like yelling a lot. The door is right there. I'm just not like, bro, we are. You say we are grown. We are adults. If there's a disagreement, we can have a conversation and communicate.
But you have to understand that woman that does a lot of yelling too. Where did she get that from?
I don't care where she got it from. She ain't finna keep doing it over here.
Yeah, she don't have to. I mean, you don't. But then you have to explain to them that this is not how we are going to communicate.
Oh no, it's thoroughly explained.
If it's someone you really like and you want to say, you got to listen. We're not going to do this. If you want to stay together, we're not going to be doing this yelling. You're not going to be
what they call that boundaries.
I guess I don't know.
That's a boundary.
Especially those women that like to yell at you in public.
Yeah. Oh nah.
You know, where did you get that from? You must have seen your mom do that to your dad or to her boyfriend a lot in public. So now you think that's how you behave or should behave to him. That's not right. No, you don't never do that.
And it's not flying with me.
It's not flying. Your mother has never done that to me, and I've never done that to her. You never do that.
And I think that's another thing too. Like I ain't really see y'all doing a whole lot of arguing and yelling. And I mean, if y'all did, y'all kept it away from us. But I ain't never seen. That's why it's like, bro, I don't do a lot of yelling. Like that's just not who I am. Like I'm not.
Well, how I treat your
really
mom is a reflection of me.
Yeah.
You know, and how she treats me is a reflection of her. If we consider ourselves one, then, you know, if I disrespect her, I'm disrespecting myself. Mm-hmm. She disrespects me, she's disrespecting herself. And so, you know, that's how you have to look at it. And so the women that's out there that want to yell and scream, I mean, they probably got that from their lifestyle growing up and has not realized that they don't have to be that way. You can change. You don't have to yell and scream.
No, you're not going to yell and scream over here. Yeah. Not with me.
You can make those demands.
You're going to be yelling and screaming, but I won't be here.
And if she wants to continue doing it, then it's over.
Yeah, I won't
go
be
and find somebody that wants that. Yeah.
Nah, we cool on it.
I don't care how fine you are.
Facts. It's just some stuff I'm not putting up with, and that's one of them. Like, you're not going to demean me. But,
and you know your mama won't put up with that either. So
yeah, no, she's crazy. I love her.
You know your mama referred to all them kind of women as chicken heads.
Dude, I feel like there's another word she uses. What's the other word? No, I don't know. I
think she call them women chicken heads.
I don't know. Yeah. but nah, man, it's definitely definitely admire your like ability to be rational a lot. Like, even though things here weren't always rational because of stuff that I was doing. Like, and I see that in myself now where, you know, hearing y'all talk like and saying that I was really observant as a kid, like I feel like I'm that way now still, very observant. Like I watch how people operate and I listen to how they talk and then I proceed to move how I move off of that. So when dealing with people in any area of life, like I am drawing assessment simply by observing, you know, and you'll realize like when you, and I enjoy people watching sometimes too, like just seeing how people operate, right? And that is a way for me to learn about people and human interaction. Just go somewhere, sit and watch people. Yeah, and you'll see.
Yeah, I've noticed that about myself. You said being rational. You know that I was rational, and that's where when I tell you that I'm kind of like that guy in that movie The Wood. Yeah, you know, Michael was a rational one when they were adults. Yeah, he was the rational one between the two friends. He was always the rational one.
Slim and Rowe, yeah,
the one that tried to get everybody, calm everybody down, and make sense of everything that's happening, and try to fix everything. That was Michael as an adult in that movie. That's why I say we had a lot in common. That was kind of like me, you know. Even with my best friend Mike Autry, when him and his mom, you know, they kind of had I'm gonna use the word tumultuous relationship, you know, in his teen and early 20 years, you know. Before she passed and whatnot, and you know they had a big blow up, you know. But you know, and I would always try to be that rational, that person of reason with my best friend, you know, to try to calm him down and help keep him out of trouble, you know. And that was just me, you know. It's just, you know, life is what you make it. And so you can either make it hard or you can enjoy life. Which one you gonna choose to do? Yeah. Which road you gonna take? You know, there's a smooth road, there's a rocky road. You know, and that don't mean you're not gonna have trouble on the smooth road. But there's some things you can do to stay on that smooth road. You know, it just depends on how you handle that situation.
For sure. What do you think of what I've done?
I think as an adult, as you out here being on your own, man, I think you've done great for yourself. I mean, I know it was probably in your view of us, you know, sending you out to Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Well, y'all ain't sent me out. I left. I willingly left.
You know, I've always think, you know, the parents' job is to prepare their children for the world. You know, and you know, I think you've handled it very well. Because, you know, even though, you know, I got you a place to stay, you had a vehicle, you had a little bit of money, you had a job. But what I was most impressed with was when that 2-year job ended, you decided to stay out there.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
You made it happen, though. You went into the unknown. Yeah. Because your job had ended and you had to find a way to make it and survive out there without that guaranteed job. And so you went and you hustled like you did in college. You know, in college, you were selling Pop Tarts out the box, $1 a Pop Tart. You was hustling. You were hustling, bro. You made it work.
This is the thing. In college, I remember I had that refrigerator with the microwave. Yeah, bro. If you needed a place to keep your food, hey, 50 cents, I'll let you keep your food in the refrigerator.
There you go.
You need to heat your food up. 50 cents will get you a minute. $1 will get you 2. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if folks had them noodles and all that, hey, you need you got cup noodles, but you don't got no fork. Guess what I got? for 25 cents a fork. You know, you got cereal and you need some milk. Guess what I got? Some milk for 50 cents. Don't pour a lot though. Yeah. You can pour some extra for 75. Like, yeah, I was hustling. I was really out here hustling.
And this is the thing. You did it without getting caught up in dealing drugs or something like that. Something illegal. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
You was able to do it. Sure, like what you don't
know.
Man,
look, I can't. Okay, I can't say that I was. Let's go to like college. Did I do that in my adulthood? No. Did I do that in college? No. Did I use some methods of attaining money that I wouldn't necessarily say that I would tell anybody else to do?
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Like, not even proud of it either. It's just what I did in that moment to survive. Right. Because even college was difficult at times.
Yeah.
Right? Living on my own. Yeah. Figuring out how to get my rent paid every month. Granted, I had a job, but sometimes you get a little irresponsible with your funds. You like, man, I gotta hustle it up and I gotta figure it out between now and this next paycheck. Right. So I gotta find a means to an end to make it work. Right. Now I'm in a position where even then, like when I was in Oklahoma and in that in-between job space, like I was able to figure out ways to get money because I had I don't know if I had a trade. Like I had something of value that I can sell and make money, which is the videos, which has turned into an entire thing for me where it's like, bro, I can go make whatever amount of money I want to make in a matter of a couple of days just by a camera in my hand. Right. A camera and a computer. Right. You know? And
that's the thing, man. You found your niche, you develop a skill, and you're using it to your benefit. And I'm proud of you for that. And it's, I'm gonna say it's calming and it's reassuring and it's I don't know what the word I'm looking for, to know that your kids are going to be all right if something was to happen to you as a parent. Mm-hmm. You know, because I would never want to, as a parent, be worried about my children being able to survive in this world without me. I can sit here and say that I know that all three of my children, you, Kim, Michael, Brittany, all y'all be all right if something was to happen to me and your mom. If we were not here, y'all will be able to make it in life and be able to survive in life. That you will have a place to live. That you won't be out on these streets and whatnot. But you all will make it if something was. I mean, God forbid. I'm not saying anything. I don't want anything to happen to us no time soon.
Nah, for sure.
But that y'all are out here on your own and you're making it on your own and you're doing it for yourself on your own. And you're not doing it for us. You're doing it for yourself. Because it's what you want.
But it's a result of what y'all was instilling in us.
Every parent should want that for their children. They should be preparing their children to go out into this world and be able to create a life for themselves. Not a life for me. Yeah. But your life for you. And then I should support you in anything you do. And one of the things I try to do is support y'all in anything y'all do, you know, as long as it's legal.
For sure. And I can attest to that. Like even when I was, you know, on the music side of things, man, like you was all in with me, like 100%.
All in with you.
You know, so I appreciate that. You know, I think I can always say that whatever I ventured into, man, you was always right there with me. Like even from, you know, you go back to me playing Pop Warner football for the Indians. Like you was out there. We at Reynolds Park. You out there. We at what's the jump? The baseball. What it's not Winston Lake. What is it? It's I can't think of the name of it, but it's right there on the east side. What is the name of that baseball thing? Dang, I can't. You know what I'm talking about?
Right there where you play football?
Yeah, right there. It's right by Winston Lake.
Yeah. I can't think of it.
Anyway, yeah, you was always in the mix, man, and never really far from what was going on. Always right there.
Yeah,
and I appreciate
I did the
that.
same thing with your sister, Kim, when she was dancing. I went out there and stayed through all them dances just to see her dance.
God, I hated them things, man.
I know you.
Oh, I hated them things, man.
I had to wait through all them dances, hours. I mean, just sitting there waiting just to see her dance for two or 3 minutes.
Yep.
You know, it's just one of them things. You know, that's a show of support and love.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Any closing words or remarks to the people about yourself, about me, about life, about whatever,
Yeah, I'll say this. I've learned not to put limits on myself. And you shouldn't put limits or build walls that keep you isolated and away from doing the things you love. I'm trying now, to get out here and just do things and go and not say no. If I know if my wife wants to do something, I say, hey, let's do it. She asked me if I want to do this, okay, let's do it. Even if it's going and doing stuff that I ain't never done before.
Like zip lining.
Zip lining, going to get my nails done, my toes getting pedicures.
Oh, that's very relaxing.
Yeah, that's very relaxing.
Very
it
relaxing.
Is. I don't do it often.
But when you go.
When I go, I go. And, this new thing now, I mean, just the other week, I went and had this free thing for a sauna down here in Winston-Salem. So, sat in the
where you go and sit in a
sauna for 45 minutes and sweat.
That's one I ain't did yet. That's one I haven't
you sitting
done
there
yet.
And you sweating inside this sauna. There was a thing down in Charlotte we went and had done where we got into this pod and we floated in this water.
Yeah.
I can't remember
Float
what it
tank.
was.
It's
some type of it's an egg thing. It's an egg shape. You get inside of it, you close the door, and you sitting in this water that's been salt water.
Yeah, you just
and
float.
You're just
It's
floating.
like float therapy. But it's sensory deprivation.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and so it's something I had never done before. Would I do it again? Yeah, I'd do it again. I used to say I wouldn't jump out of an airplane, but I'm like, why not? If I got a parachute,
Nah, because that's one that
if
you
somebody
got that
packed it
one.
for me, I trust them. They packed it for me, and I take my lessons, and I know what to do. I'm like, sure, I might give it a shot. I'm just out there. Like, don't put limits on yourself on what you can do or what you might want to do. If you want to do something, go for it.
Well, the thing about jumping out of an airplane is something I don't want to do, so I won't be doing that.
I don't think I'll be doing it anytime soon.
Nah, I'm cool.
I'd rather go down and go into the wind tunnel thing where I can just float.
The like.
Like you're in a parachute falling. But
I might try that. But they call it indoor skydiving.
Yeah, indoor skydiving.
But to jump out of a plane, a perfectly good plane,
never know, man. Never know until you try.
I know that I won't be trying that.
Okay.
No. Cool. I don't even like being on the planes, man. Yeah. Like when I was flying out here, I was trying to go to sleep. I'm off an hour and a half of sleep, trying to go to sleep. Every time the plane do like this, I'm jumping up. Nah, bro, I'm cool.
Yeah, but I'm saying, I'm what I'm saying is not to limit myself.
Not say for sure.
To stuff. Because for a long time, I always put others before myself. I put y'all before myself. I put my wife before myself. But now I think and I'm not gonna stop doing that. But I'm gonna put myself a little bit more, even in like it's your career. I've been working where I've been working for 28 years. Am I thinking about going somewhere else? Why not? Why not give it a try? Don't say no. Don't put limits on yourself, on what you can do, on where you can go, on what you can achieve, even at the age of 55.
Yeah.
I can still got stuff I can do. And it is the fact that I had cancer and survived cancer. It might have something to do with it, but I'm just not saying. I'm not saying no as much anymore. I'm just gonna say let's go. Let's give it a shot. Let's do it. It's just like when we decided to remodel this house.
Yeah.
I said, that's a lot of money, but hey, let's do it.
Why not, right?
Why not? And we did it, and we love what we did.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally different.
Yeah.
Totally different.
You know, my next project is in the backyard, in this patio thing, you know. I'm working on that. Taking a little time, something I ain't never done before.
Yeah.
But I believe I can do it. It's just gonna take a little while to do it. But I'm not gonna say no. I'm gonna keep at it. You know, it'd be easy to pay somebody to do it. It'd be expensive.
Yeah.
But I think I can do it myself.
Why not?
Why not?
Right on.
Why not?
All right, man. Hey.
It's been good, man.
Big Mike from the Wood. Big Dash. You know. My pops, man. Appreciate you taking the time to sit down with me. I know it's late, but hey, man, we here, man. Good time, good talks, you know.
Yeah, let's do it again.
Yeah, for sure. Next time I come back, I'll pack this thing on up. We'll bring it back. We'll talk about some more stuff.
Yes, sir, man. Lots to talk about.
Yes, sir. All right, man. We out.